Welcome to what I'm calling the cotton build. Alright, if you're here for the first time, go watch this other video. I will link it in the description below. It kind of gets you to where I'm at today. But today, I've pretty much got the frame on this 1978 GMC 3/4 ton where I want it to start building it back up with new products. I don't know if you can see on the video, but I got a lot of it laid out here. I've had for a while. I've been slacking on this project, and I really kind of want to get it wrapped up and done, not only to get out of the shop, but I want to go have some fun with this thing. I've always wanted a decent square body pickup truck with kind of a patina outside, so that's kind of the idea on this build, if you will, was to get everything, drivetrain, frame, just everything in really good working order and restored to a point, and then kind of have an older square body pickup truck sitting on top of it. Hopefully maybe a good interior too, but we'll conquer that when we get there. In front of me I've got, and I like the old school stuff, it's not everybody's flavor, but it is mine currently. I got some Skyjacker stuff here, just getting that look is what I'm going for on this truck. I got steering stabilizer, I've got 4 shocks in the traditional white and red. Right now, the engine and transmission, everything, all that's worked. It worked when I parked it, but the brake lines, of course, were in need of repair, and the fuel lines were pretty bad on it. This truck had a single tank. The truck that I'm taking the body off of, which is a 1980 C20 of the same style, but of course 2-wheel drive. It has 2 saddle tanks on each side, so I gotta plumb it up right now. So the next 2 things on the list to get this going is going to be plumbing up all the brake lines, which I've got all new stainless brake lines. I kind of just have them sitting on the truck right now. But I bought a kit from Inline Tube, looks like what the company's called. And I'm giving here's the part numbers on it. If you want it, pause it, check it out. But it came with pre-bent stainless, all new lines, and trying not to tear them up moving around. But that's kind of the next thing. I got all new stainless hard lines, and then I've got all the Skyjacker braided lines that go to each wheel, or the front 2 wheels, and then the jumper from the frame down to the differential. The flexible line there. That's this piece here, again from Skyjacker, and I'll put all these part numbers in there somewhere. Went ahead and did a new distribution block, got a new setup there, and just basically all new brake system, front to back. I wanted a little bit of lift on this pickup truck, so I put a 4-inch kit on it. Well, that was the idea, and I wasn't going to run a really tall tire. I kind of wanted to do like the short and wide look, and then have a second set of tires that were more stock and tall. I'll probably put the stock skinny tall ones on a decent set of steels, and I still have the factory hubcaps, and then I'll have a separate set, something ridiculous like a 15 by 14 Bart wheel with maybe some TSLs on it or something like that, just something to be cool and fun. But with the 4-inch lift kit on this thing, I think it'll do it. New 4-inch leaves from the front, the Easy Ride leaves from, I think I got them from Skyjacker. But I did that. Of course, it comes with this new, I forget what this arm's called. But if you're watching this video, you probably know what this arm's called. It's like a steering arm or something like that. So I got this. And of course, while I'm in here, why not do all new steering components? I'll take you off the mount here in a second and kind of show you the parts. But new leaves in the front, and in the rear, of course, this truck was a 3/4 ton, so it had like 7 or 8 leaves in the stack, and it rode terribly. unloaded. When you put some weight behind it, it rode great, but this truck's really no longer going to be a hauling truck. I'm building it as kind of just a fun cruise around truck. So I really wanted to soften up the ride in the rear. So I looked up like standard half-ton stuff, and they still had like 5 leaf packs, 5 leaves on the pack. So I was trying to like, how can I get this thing softer? So I ended up going with like the same year roughly, but a 2-wheel drive half-ton leaf pack, which has got 3 long springs, and then I guess it's called a helper, 1 helper at the bottom. So it's like the softest one I could find, and then just did a block underneath that to try to keep the rear of the truck soft, because I want it to be a decent riding truck, you know, for a square body lifted truck. It's kind of like an oxymoron, a nice riding square body, but I'm sure they're out there. I'm hoping I can make one myself. So I'll take you off the thing. I'll walk you around, show you what I got now, and then I think brakes is the next thing we'll get into. Here's some of the parts that I've got. Like I said, I've got the Skyjacker set up. I kind of like that old style look. Here's a steering stabilizer. I guess pause it and flip it. There's the part number on it. These are just kind of standard. Here's brake lines. There's one set that I've got. I believe this is the one going to the rear axle. And then the distribution block, that actually is really nice. This is where I got that one. I think I got it on Amazon, which, you know, hopefully it's really nice. There's some more brake lines. I think these are the fronts. And all of the clips and fasteners to hold the brake lines. I think this was maybe an LMC truck, or it might have came from the Skyjacker stuff. Actually, maybe it came from here. I think I ordered this all as a kit, but there's a part number. Ordered the stainless hard lines from Inline Tube. Here's all the front steering components, new adjusting sleeves, outer tie rods, all the stuff you need to rebuild it. And I can't remember exactly where I got these parts from. I probably just jumped on Rock Auto and looked through it. I tried to get Moog on some of these, but that is what it is. This is what I got. Here's the frame. I didn't like sandblast this frame down, but I cleaned it up the best I could and put a good coating on it to try to preserve it in the future. The only thing I really had to do on this frame that was rotten was this bed brace. The top was pretty decent, but the bottoms right here were rotten. So I just plated the frame on the bottom and then ran a brace up. Nothing special, just put some strength back into it. There's some of the steel lines I kind of just have laying there. Here's the leaves. Ran a block, of course, new U-bolts. New hardware on all of the for the leaf. I actually cleaned this up and didn't want to paint it. I like the old look of it, so I just clear coated it. So that's nice, you know, smooth clear coat, protected, but it's not actually painted a different color. So that should keep the metal in decent shape and kind of keep the original look to it. Here's the new front leaves with the new shackles. Even though it looks old and decrepit, this is a fairly new Goodwrench 350. I gotta remember, I still need to buy a rag joint for that steering. Here's the driver's side. The lift on this side, the 4-inch lift, is all done with the spring. New shackle again. Just went through, cleaned it up, tried to preserve it. And now I'm going to go through and try to get these brake lines put on. That way I can get this thing out of the garage. I got the hard lines pretty much done except for the rear diff. Wasn't too bad. They're not perfect, but they give you something to go by. And I didn't really have to do a whole lot of tweaking. The hardest part was actually just getting them through, like the engine mount setup, which I'm sure the proper way is to take all that stuff off. But if you work it the right way, you can get it through. I'll take you off stand and show you real quick. Starting with going to the master cylinder. Line's coming down. I'll get up underneath there in a second, but there's a new block. I've got the front and rear lines running this way. Try to block the sunlight for you. Running through there. A little tough, but doable. Same thing on this side. There's the front. Goes through. Comes out right here on the frame, where it hooks to that braided line I bought, and then comes down like this. This is the old line. Here's the block from underneath. And then again, this side set up the same way. There's the connection for the rest of the rear line. It's underneath. Got to bend around. I don't have this fastened down yet, but here's where it comes down with the soft line to the diff. I got to run those two that run over across the diff to each wheel cylinder. So time for lunch. Gonna break for lunch. Come back and finish that up. Alright, I got a little tied up doing the Christmas special. So I don't know when you're seeing this, but today is the day before Christmas Eve, 23rd. So I shot a little Christmas special. If you haven't checked it out, I'll put it in the description or at the end of the video. Go check it out. Just some fun. Merry late Christmas, by the way. So I got a little busy doing that, so I got back in the shop right before dinner. Getting right head in there now. But I was able to get the rear section done. I got the jumper. I still have to put the clip in here, but I got the soft line in, 2 hard lines, 1 going to each cylinder. I don't know if you can see it, a little bit better look at it. Didn't get the fronts done, but I got the rears done, so little by little, knocking this thing out. Still got to do the front lines here, so that'll be the next spot, but I'm heading for the night. Finished up most of the brake stuff. Still waiting on 2 banjo bolts to get the front lines done. So I've got these to put on, but since I'm waiting on those, I'm going to switch over to the front end and get some of that stuff put on. I'll try to do a time lapse or something. If it's worth it, I'll put it in here, but I'm just going to go ahead and start assembling all of this and then putting the big bar on and maybe even doing the stabilizer if it looks like it'll be out of the way for the rest of the build. If you're looking at the new box, Christmas present, got me a welding cart. So finally have a decent cart to put my welder on. But we'll put this on and at least I can roll it around the shop and be able to turn it now versus both the tires going opposite directions. That'd be nice. After that, really, I think it's get the other truck in here and yank it off. So I'm going to have to figure out something to pull the cab off through the attic. So that'll probably be the next video, figuring that part out. All right, let's get started. Got the front steering all put on the truck. Nothing's torqued to spec or nothing, but got everything on there. I don't know if I put that time lapse in, whether you can even see anything or not, but also got the steering stabilizer put on. So I've got all new steering components. This thing should ride pretty good. For now, that'll do. Catch you on the next one.